All right, thank you very much. Appreciate the reporting. We'll check back with you in a little bit, Boris. Let's talk right now about what's going on in the GOP side, specifically with Senator Marco Rubio. This is a big day for him if he wants to get competitive. With us, the man in your screen, Tom Coburn, former Republican senator who represented Oklahoma. He has endorsed Senator Marco Rubio. Senator, always a pleasure to speak with you. Let's talk about Marco.
Good morning.
Let's talk about Marco Rubio. Let's put up the map of the states at play today. Where do you see Rubio winning? And if he doesn't win anywhere today, do you still believe that he can be the nominee?
First of all, I don't know where he'll win and where he won't. I think a lot of the places are going to be much closer than what the polls have predicted. And I think he stays in, sure, because he is the voice really the conservative movement that has a heart, and the Americans see that. He causes people to aspire to a greater height rather than takes advantage of their fears. And so I think he has a great opportunity, not just today, but in the days coming forward, to still have a voice out there. Chris, I think the other thing that's going to happen is if Donald Trump's the nominee of our party, that you'll see a third party develop.
What would that third party be?
Will counter that. Well, it'll be somebody independently running to counter the effect of Donald Trump. Donald Trump hadn't answered one specific question yet, and nobody knows what he believes. Nobody knows what he stands for. And you know, I think Marco's pretty right. There's a lot of obfuscation as to what he believes and what his answers are. Where's his program? What does he mean? What we hear is a lot of superlatives. But we don't hear meat. We don't hear facts. We don't hear positions. What we hear is oh, he denigrates other people. And when you do that, what you are is a bully. And he acts like a bully, and most bullies are cowards.
But Senator,
what I see is a very, very dangerous. I understand there's a lot of people, but the reason that they're voting for him is they're so disgusted with the government that we have.
That is true.
You can't blame him.
He is seen as an antidote.
You can't blame him for.
He wins against
That's
every
right, but
category.
He's not the antidote that he claims to be.
But he wins against every category of voter. Conservatives have been voting for him more than Rubio and Cruz, sometimes combined. And when you talk about the tone, there's no question Trump is decidedly negative in his tone, but so has Rubio been. Recently, in the last couple of days, though, but Senator, in the last couple of days, he called Trump a scam artist, a con artist, that he has small hands, that he's doing spray tan on his face. This is your unity candidate? This is the guy who speaks to your better lights?
Well, I think what Marco's decided to do is, you know, what you have to do is stand up to bullies. And there's no question Donald Trump's tactics are to demean anybody around him. And the only way you can get back at that is you got to fight back. You got to use his same tools. I'm not for that. I would just tell you that. But I'm not disgusted about that because I've heard enough. What I'd like to see is somebody talking about how we solve the problems of our country, and Marco Rubio's talking about that. I was with him last night and heard a wonderful speech about why we can all aspire to have a great America and take advantage of what this country provides, rather than talking about all the negatives and what's wrong with all the candidates that oppose him.
I understand your point. Certainly, you like to keep it above board when you were in office, but let's play what he was saying Sunday night, and something that has been repeating a lot. This is in Virginia.
He doesn't sweat because his pores are clogged from the spray tan that he uses. Donald is not going to make America great. He's going to make America orange. He's always calling me Little Marco. And I'll admit, the guy, he's taller than me. He's like 6'2", which is why I don't understand why his hands are the size of someone who's 5'2". Have you seen his hands? They're like this. And you know what they say about men with small hands? You can't trust them.
Look, this might work like in a bar with the fellas, but it is hard to say. I certainly would have never heard of Senator Coburn talking about an opponent this way. What do you think the virtue is in that? You really believe that to compete against Donald Trump, you have to be as base as he is?
Well, no, I don't, and I don't think Marco believes that either. I think Marco has to, though. You know, you have to raise the level of which you're being attacked, and you have to give some of that back to bullies. And that's what he's done. If you listen to Marco, a complete speech, what you will hear is a vision for America that lifts everybody. that doesn't leave anybody out, that restores what our founders believed, restores the success that we saw in the 20th century. So yeah, I understand the media pays attention to that, but the fact is there's going to be a call to make us what we need to be, and to have everybody participate that. And the person to do that, I believe, is Marco Rubio. And I don't believe Donald Trump is the person to do that. At times, I tell you what, I'm embarrassed for our country about some of the things that he says. And as you speak, it actually identifies your heart. And what's great about Marco is nobody else on the other side can beat him, and they know that. And they know that we may not be smart enough to elect the person that can beat anybody they put up.
Well, Senator Rubio has got his work cut out for him to get into the general election, but we'll see what happens today. And Senator Coburn, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you for being on.
Good talking with you, Chris.
Absolutely.
God bless you.
God bless you as well, sir.